What if I told you that the royal drama you thought was fading is actually entering a new phase, and this phase is louder, deeper, and even more unpredictable than whatever we thought before? And because right now, behind the headlines, Prince Harry is making bold moves. Meghan Markle is stepping into a fresh spotlight, and back in the UK, the palace is keeping calm, but they are actually watching closely. New projects have emerged, new backlash, old wounds are also reopening. And one question is actually hanging in the air, which is reconciliation still possible, or has a royal family divided become permanent? Now guys, stay with me because what you are about to hear connects everything, like every details, every headlines, every decision, and even every silence. Now let's start in Hollywood, because that is where the latest chapter begins. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are not stepping back, not even close, and instead they are pushing forward with a brand new project, something unexpected, something that is raising eyebrows. And as a drama series centered around the elite world of polo. Now, at first glance, you might think polo, really, but look deeper. This isn't just about sports, it's about power, wealth, rivalry, and also legacy. And the very thing that have defined Prince Harry's real life stories. And here is where it's getting interesting. This move is not just a random move, it's strategic. After mixed reactions to previous projects, this new direction suggests a shift, a recalibration, a message that says we are still here and we are not done telling stories. But you know what? Critics are already cycling. Some are questioning whether audiences will connect, while others say it is too far removed from everyday life. Yet, supporters argue the opposite, that this is exactly what makes it compelling, because sometimes the most distant word reveals the most familiar truth. And for Harry and Meghan Markle, storytelling is no longer just creative expression, its identity, its independence, and its survival. Now let's quickly shift this to continent, like to Australia, because what was supposed to be a simple visit has turned into another public storm, and rumours started spreading, claims that taxpayers might be footing the bills for their trip. And almost instantly the reaction was intense, criticisms, questions, and even frustrations. But then came the response from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's camp, and it was firm, it was clear, direct, and no hesitations. They denied everything, saying the trip is privately funded, no public money involved. But here is the thing: in today's world, perceptions can be louder than truth. And once a narrative starts moving, it's hard to stop. And this situation reveals something deeper. No matter where they go, no matter what they do, scrutiny follows. Because Prince Harry and Meghan are no longer just public figures, they are symbols of change, symbols of controversies, of a royal system being questioned. And every move they make, it gets analysed, debated, and even most times misunderstood. So just when things seemed to cool down, something else ignited the tension all over again. Something like a new royal book, and not just any book, one filled with claims, interpretations, and narratives that paint a complicated picture of Harry, Meghan Markle, and their life journey. Now, we won't repeat every details, but the tone, guys, it is explosive. And Harry and Meghan didn't stay silent. No, no, no. They pushed back, like, strongly, dismissing the content as exaggerated, dramatic and even misleading. But here is where it's getting more complicated. Responding can defend your truth, but it can also keep the conflict alive, because every response invites another reaction, and every statement opens another chapter, and suddenly what could have faded into the background returns to the spotlight. So this is the circle, and right now it's spinning again. And while all this unfolds, back in the UK, something very different is happening, like stability, there's routine, there's continuity. The king continues his duties, ceremonies proceed, the royal calendar moves forward, and you know what? Publicly, there is calm. No direct response, no emotional statements, just silence. But don't mistake silence for indifference, because in royal strategy, silence can be powerful, and silence can be the most spoken words. E can also signal control, discipline, focus, or even sometimes distance. The contrast is just striking. And on one side, movement, project, response, and on the other, e should be tradition, structure, or restraint. And two parts, once connected, now clearly separated. Now we come to one of the most serious and sensitive issues of all: security. Guys, this isn't about headlines. Isn't about image. It is about safety. Prince Harry has made it clear he believes the current situation puts his family at risk when visiting the UK, and he's been fighting, legally and publicly for protection. But the government's position is firm. They are resisting the request for taxpayer funded security, and this creates a difficult reality, because without that protection, visits become complicated. E becomes limited, e becomes risky and even uncertain, which leads to a deeper question: can a prince truly return home if he doesn't feel safe there? It's no longer just about family disagreements. It's about logistics, it's about the law, and it's about responsibilities. And the outcome of this battle could shape the future of Harry's connection to the UK. So, guys, where does all of this leave us? This is one big question. You see, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are building something new, far from royal walls, and the palace is continuing something old, that is something rooted in tradition. And between them, distance, not just physical but emotional, institutional and personal. But yet there is something about this story that keeps people watching, because at its core, it's not just about royalty, it's about family, it's about choices, it's about what happens when you walk away from everything you have ever known, and try to create something different. So the questions remain: is this the final chapter of the royal rift, or is just the beginning of something even bigger? So, if you've made it to this news this far, I want to hear from you. Do you think reconciliation will ever happen, or has too much already been said and done? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. And if you want more deep, real, and unfiltered royal updates like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next chapter might arrive sooner than we think. Till then, I'll see you guys again on my next news.